Okay, we are here. We are live. It's Thursday. Gotta be Thursday. You know what? I almost forgot what day it was this week. I thought it was like Wednesday, and I was like a little snappy when I got up this morning. So, anyways, it's Wednesday. No, see, it's Wednesday. It's Thursday. It's not Wednesday. It's Thursday. Yeah, no giggling. No giggling from the peanut gallery. not till we get going. So, yes, I got to get my head back in the game here. So, we have a couple of really interesting ladies today, fun ladies. We have Jenn Grachow, who is a personal branding photographer, and she's going to tell you exactly what that means in a minute. And then I have Kirsten Frey, big name. She's a grief recovery specialist and a life coach with Transitions Life Coaching. Oh, and Jen's company name is J&K Imagery because I forgot to say that. So now I'm not going to get in trouble because I didn't say it. Alrighty. So I'm going to give these ladies a couple of minutes to introduce who they are and what their business is about. And then we're just going to get right into having some fun because, you know, it's Thursday. It's, who does Morella? Morella calls it, it's a pre-Friday, but she calls it, Thursday Eve. Friday Eve or Thursday Eve? Something Friday like that. Eve. It's really cute. Friday Eve. Happy Friday Eve. Yeah. I kind of like that because my brain's kind of gone. Like, I don't know about the rest of you, but I used to sort of kind of tune out at Fridays at noon. I'm kind of tuning out at Thursdays at noon now. So it's getting harder, I guess, with that summer weather. Alrighty. So we'll let Jenn go first and you tell us a little bit about you. You got the floor.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks, Andrea. So as Andrea said, my name is Jenn Grachow. My company's J&K Imagery. I'm a branding photographer, and that means I help you to actually create images for social media, website, any kind of marketing needs that you can connect with your client easily and seamlessly.
Oh, that was really smooth, eh?
That was smooth.
I'm like, I don't know if I can follow that one. That was good. Alrighty. Okay. Name one thing, Jenn, that people get wrong when you tell them you're a personal branding photographer. One thing that they kind of don't understand.
Everybody thinks that it's just a headshot a lot of the times, right? A headshot is a good place. You need that because anywhere there's a profile picture, you definitely need that. And you need to make sure it looks good. But branding photography is more about telling that story so that you can build those connections much more easily because everybody responds to images and everybody can kind of understand then what it is you do better.
Good. Okay. My husband just says we all look great. So I guess that's that's awesome. Code for. You're done. It's all working. I'm going on my bike ride. That's what that's code for. So he's off. He's done. So we are on our own for the next hour. Any technical glitches? It's just us, ladies. That's all we got. Okay. And so Kirsten, explain a little bit about what you do to everybody and what your business is all about.
Great. Thanks for the opportunity, Andrea. I appreciate it. So great to be here with you ladies today. My name's Kirsten Frey. I am the owner of Transitions Life Coaching. I am a transformational life coach, certified grief recovery specialist, and facilitator of the Create Your Life Vision Board workshop. So my goal is to, depending on where you are in your life, whether you're in the shadow or in the light, I can hold space for you in that place and take you to where you want to go next. So for a lot of people, especially with the grief work, it's not something we do well in our Western culture. We've just never really been given the tools, most of us, on how to transition through change and loss that we have in our life. And so that is my deepest honor to be able to hold space for people that are going through some kind of change of that, like that.
Okay, so I just want to touch on that real quick, just like with Jenn. I'm assuming that what people get wrong when you talk about grief recovery is they only think of it as far as dealing with the death of a loved one. But I'm going to jump in and think that grief is so much more than that. And can you just touch on, that's probably a misconception that people have when you say grief recovery. They just think it's only limited to that one thing. Can you just touch on if I'm right about that people misconstrue exactly what grief is all about?
You're absolutely right. And that's why I just love what I do, because we all grew up with a lot of misinformation around grief and loss. And unfortunately, that leaves a lot of us with a lot of emotional pain that hasn't always been resolved. And so we think, because we deal with things from our logical mind, that we've, dealt with the situation. We feel like we've gotten through it all. But grief is emotional. It's not logical. And so trying to use our head to fix our heart is the wrong tool for the job. And just like you said, Andrea, there are more than actually 40 life experiences that can create feelings of grief. And that is simply just even a change in our familiar pattern of behavior. So when we look at COVID and everything that's going on right now, I mean, a lot of us might be experiencing grief and not even recognizing it for that.
Yeah. That's when you go around your day and you think you've handled that thing and you haven't thought about it in weeks and weeks, and all of a sudden you smell something or you hear a song and you just go, whoo, and it's like, boom, right here. And you're like, where the heck did that come from? Like, I thought that was over and done with. So if you're getting a smack in the face, it's time to revisit that and really, really deal with it. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So Jen, how did you meet me? Because it is my show and I get to tell people how, because I'm meeting all these wonderful people. So how did you get to meet me? Because everybody wants to know.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I met you through Busy Women. I think we first met in a mastermind group. And then we've had lots
yes,
of
we did.
Yeah. And then since then, it's really been like networking. We've worked together a couple of times with clients. So it's been, again, like what, 2 years now?
It has been. It was 2 years in July. You're absolutely right. It was the very first mastermind class that I went through a networking group. And I went to this, I met with a business coach, had my interview. She said, oh, these ladies are going to be great. You're going to fit in really well. And I went to this group and I'm sitting there and we have a dentist, we have a lawyer, we have a photographer, we have a woman who like runs her own like $1 million company. And we have, what else was there? There was a real estate person. And I'm sitting in the room and I'm kind of looking around going, it's me, right? Like, like I'm here. Do they know that I should not be here? So anyways, I got moved to another group, which is at the level that I needed to be at. But that's the first time I met Jen. And then so it was kind of nice. But and then from then on, it was just met at everything else. And we have worked together on doing some clients. I'm also was a makeup artist before, so I helped her do a couple of shoots. So a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun to work with. I work with lots of photographers, and my husband's a photographer. And she's a lot of fun to work with. She's just so easygoing about it. Like it's really low key and low stress. Like you just giggle the entire time. I don't think I've ever been on a shoot with you where I haven't been laughing, to be totally honest. And I'm being completely, candid here. That's what happens when I've worked with Jen. So if you're looking for a good time and some good photos.
And that seems typical for me, actually, is like we all just giggle all the way through the shoot. Like, because nobody's comfortable in front of the camera. I have to get in front of the camera and, I giggle myself most of the time.
Yeah, giggle a lot. Too much sometimes.
Nobody likes being in front of the camera, but you got to make it fun.
You do. Okay, so Kirsten, this is going to be good because a lot of people probably don't know this. So how did you meet me?
Well,
do we have the story straight?
Yeah, we should have checked our notes before we did this. So initially, you and I met in grade 4. Yep. Believe it or not.
Yep.
And you came to my birthday party.
I did.
And then actually where we really connected as friends was more in middle school. So you and I have known each other many, many, many years. We won't get into how many.
I went to school.
Lots of high double digits at this point.
Yes,
lots of them.
absolutely.
Lots of them. Lots of them. Yeah. Got into lots of trouble. I can never drink peach schnapps or even smell it again in my entire life. Nope. We were talking about the other night with my niece who's living with us with her fiance. He's just come from Germany, so they're staying with us for a year to, start their new life and settle out. We were talking about drinking stories the other day. And, my husband, love him, but he turns to me, Kirsten, he says, you want some peach schnapps? And I was like, there's the door.
That is just wrong. That's just wrong.
That's just wrong. So, shall I call Kirsten? I said, no, you shall not.
No, don't call me. It's not even like peach schnapps. It's anything peach flavored. I can't. It's like, nope, can't even go there anymore.
So I'm going to give you the condensed version. When it came out many moons ago, peach schnapps was the drink in the 80s when we were young and silly and bar hopping and having fun.
Fuzzy navels.
Sorry?
Fuzzy navels.
Fuzzy navels was the drink. So Kirsten and I decided we were going to drink some at home after we had come out from, I guess we came back from the club or something with a bunch of people. Anyway, long story short, we ran out of orange juice and just did the peach schnapps straight, which is not a good plan. And it did not go well. And we both went to separate places that night at the end of the night, but it was horrible. Both were, living in the bathroom for many, many hours afterwards and decided that was never, ever going to happen ever again. And it's true. Anything peach flavored or peach smelling, I'm like, Can't do it. And my husband eats peaches, and I'm like, you have to go to another room. Like, I just can't do this. Like, you got to go. My kids, when they were small, the canned peaches and the baby food, I'm like, nope, can't do it. It's got to go. So, yes, lots of good stories, but we won't talk. There's 3 people watching, and I would like you to say hello and tell me who you are, because this is kind of a little unnerving, but I don't know who you are. So say hi so we can, let you join in the conversation here. All righty. So we're just going to go right into it, and I'm just going to ask you some questions, and we're just going to see where this takes us. Alrighty, so I will start with Jenn. Okay. You're there. You're at the top of my screen. So what's the worst job you ever had?
Ooh, I've had a few, so this is good.
Had a few.
Right,
I only got an hour-long show, Jenn. I mean, that's all I got time for.
Well, I was doing street marketing actually one time. So I want you to think street marketing. Okay. So
explain.
Yeah, I will. So basically what it is it's those people you see on the street that give you stuff, right?
Okay.
They just want to either hand stuff out to you to try something or give you something. Think Toronto. Like in Toronto, you have people.
Were you wearing one of those billboard thingies?
No, I was dressed.
Laughing.
So we were representing an orange juice. I won't say which one, just because So we were dressed in these giant things, and also think middle of February in one of the coldest days of the year. So we're trying to do orange juice, which actually turned out to be like more slushy and would freeze in the things.
And then you threw some peach schnapps in there. You got a fuzzy navel to give to people as they're driving by.
Pretty much, yeah.
Except me and Kirsty, we wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it.
No.
Throw some vodka in it, though, and I would take it, but I would not know what peach schnapps.
Screwdriver.
So that was the worst. I would think so. I got offered to do one of those just when I was about 2021. And I knew somebody who did that. They were doing flowers. They would sit on the side of the road with flowers next to a van or something. And the van would drop them off and then leave them for 8 hours and come back and pick them up. And I was like, how do you go pee? Like, how do you find something to eat? Like, how do you do that as a girl? Like, how is that possible to be like stuck on the street by yourself?
You have to remember, wherever I did these things, it was downtown Toronto. So you just popped into anywhere.
You were good. All righty. You're ready for your slushies. Please, can I please go to the bathroom?
Yeah. Nobody wanted it. It was just way too cold.
Yeah, that was not a good marketing plan. Whoever was running that company needed some help. I mean, that was just not the way to do things.
No.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's just see here. All right, so Kirsten, if you could instantly learn any language, what would it choose? What would it be? So you just wake up and just know it. What would it be?
Italian. And actually, Scott and I've, when he gets back from BC, we're actually looking into taking Italian lessons because, yes, I just think it's a beautiful language. And we were fortunate enough to go to Italy a few years back, and it's just lovely. And it's just one of those things, but you need somebody to practice with. So,
yes.
So we're going to do that when he gets back. That's on our bucket list.
Yes. I agree with you there. That and Spanish, either one of those would be my thing. Yes. Very good. Alrighty, so let's just see where we go now here. We'll stick with Kirsten for one more time. Okay, what personality trait has gotten you into the most trouble?
Well, maybe you should answer that.
I'm not answering it. This is my show. I call them. You're just as bad as my mother. Okay, rules are no bad. You can't say embarrassing stories about me unless I say it's okay, and it's my show.
What's gotten me into the trouble?
What personality trait has gotten you into the most trouble? That's such a good question.
Probably. I would say probably either impatience or I'm sort of a shoot from the hip kind of person. And so maybe just a little edgy sometimes for some people.
I'm going to say yes to that one. No, you know what? Seriously, it's been like, I'm going to tell people it's been like 40 years that I've known her. And we haven't gotten into anything huge or major because we both kind of sort of do the same thing with each other. But yeah, there are some people where, you're brutally honest. You're just going to tell it like you see it. And they just can't do that. They don't want it. They don't want to hear what's real. They don't want to hear your truth. So that's, I agree with that. All right, Jen. So what personality trait has gotten you into trouble?
Oh, definitely a few.
Wow, we got some bad troublemakers today. You know what? You guys would be great. When this is done, we all have to go out. This would be a good night out. And we need to bring a camera. I'm pretty sure we won't remember any of it. But you guys would be a good party crew to go out with. Yeah.
Indeed.
I think of the list. You
Definitely
guys are
in my 20s.
Yeah, we can leave at 7 and be home by 10. I mean, we don't have to stay out late anymore. We're big. We're big. Okay.
Mine would probably be impulsiveness. I don't necessarily think through everything. I just got to go, that sounds like a wonderful idea. Let's just do it and see what happens.
Wow. And that's gotten you into trouble. Yeah, I'm not impulsive.
Trouble is, I mean,
does it work out most of the time?
That depends on your opinion. Depends on your opinion of it, really. Sorry, I got like a lot of light coming in all of a sudden.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. Well, I don't know where the 3 people are, but I think I scared them away because now they all left. Okay. Hopefully you'll come back. Sorry. You don't really have to tell me who you are. It's okay. You can just watch anonymously. It's okay. All righty. So, okay, this is kind of, because I remember what I did here. So what was the first thing you bought with your own money? And this goes for both of you. Like, I actually can remember this.
I can't. I was thinking about that, but I honestly cannot remember. Been working forever.
Yeah, that's a really good question because, like even if you look back where, like I had a paper route growing up too, so, and babysat.
Same.
So
Yeah.
I've been making money like for as long as I can remember, but
Yep.
so I don't actually have a clear recollection of what the very first thing was that I bought for myself. I know the first big thing that I did buy for myself was actually going on vacation with my girlfriend when I was 18, and we went to Cancun by ourselves.
And what girlfriend would that be?
Oh, so that was Rena.
Oh, Rena. Okay, because
Yeah.
Karen Ridquist is here. So hi, Karen.
Oh, hey, Karen.
I've known Karen almost as long as Kirsten, but yeah. So yeah, so Karen's in the state. I'm here. She's in the States. Yeah. So I can remember when I was babysitting, when I was a teenager, and also the biggest thing that I remember buying for myself, the 2 lip gloss, like the roll-on lip gloss. Like I was, 12. That was the big thing. And every week we would go and we would buy records, like the little 45s. That was the big things. And because that was mine, I didn't have to share that with anybody else. And then when I got older and I got my very first credit card, I should have said that story. The very first thing I bought with my first credit card, and this is ridiculous, but I had bought these white leather boots and they had like a fringe around them. I have no idea why, but anyway, I bought white leather boots with a fringe, which was just...
This was the 80s.
Because it was the 80s.
Because that's what we did. Kirsten bought her Chevette. That's what Karen says. You bought your Chevette. Okay. All righty. So, what bad habits of other people drive you crazy? Do you have any stories about that? Either one of you. Any bad habits that drive you crazy? Like really just, you go offside.
I would say not that I guess it does drive me crazy. The word whiskers, and we all have them. But when someone has a certain word that they repeat over and over, like when they like when they say like about a million times. Yeah. My son went through a phase of that, and I just remember it was like stop saying like. But everybody
you're
got
gonna
it
the rest of this call.
And now I will, because I've just jinxed myself.
Just said it.
So, but I've noticed that even when we listen to presentations, and again, it's not from a judgy place, but most of us do, which is why it's nice to have feedback when you do a presentation, that we all tend to have one word whisker.
I'm just doing, my daughter's trying. Okay, Jen, you tell your story, but my daughter's trying to FaceTime me. This is not a good time.
That's so funny.
So you go ahead, Jen, you tell me what your pet peeve is.
You know what? It's indecisiveness. like sometimes when it's a simple thing to just like pick something, doesn't matter what it is, just pick something.
Yes.
From the impulsive one here.
Yeah. Well, because you know why? Because she can make decisions quickly. That's why she just goes boom, 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 boom. So if you need to make a list and figure it out and have a pros and cons, and I'll get back to you, that would probably drive you bonkers. You'd be like, okay, I'm done. I'm making a decision. I'm doing it already. Either come or not. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what my pet peeve is. I got a couple. My biggest thing right now, I think, is the driving. That's really been driving me nuts for the last year or two, especially since I moved down here from Barrie down to the Halton region. people here just pull U-turns like no business, and they don't tell anybody, and they switch lanes. And my biggest thing is I'm driving along and it's like, oh, so today the stop sign is optional for you in the red car, right? And that's been my biggest thing is like, I am not a mind reader. You have to tell me what you want to do. I'm watching your car. You need to tell me what's going on. And I do that all the time when I'm in the car. I'm complaining and I'm talking about other people. I'm doing the monologue, and it's just like,
I agree though. And they put signals in there, not as an option.
yeah.
It's not an option. It comes in every car.
Today's Monday, and I don't feel like, driving on this side of the road. I'm going to drive right through the middle because it's Monday and I can do what I want on a Monday. And it's just like, people please. Yeah, that's just my biggest thing is driving is just not. I'm a rule girl, right, Kirsten? I'm a rule girl. If there's a set of rules somewhere and I know what they are and you're supposed to follow them because you know what they are too, I will beat you black and blue with the rules until you follow them. I'm a rule girl. That's what I. So yeah, not following the rules, I guess. Is my
because what's your tagline, Andrea? Get with the program, and it's not your program, it's her program.
Get with the program. Yes, it's my show. Well, you know what that comes from? That comes from having 4 kids in the family and like waiting in a pecking order for somebody to like, my turn. Yeah. 3 boys and me, you got to be scrappy.
I had 2 brothers, so I get it.
Yeah, you got to be scrappy, right? When you got boys around, you do.
Yep.
Kirsten's brother wasn't scrappy.
No.
Eric was probably the best brother on the planet. He was quiet. He was accommodating. We probably could have walked into Eric's room and covered him with whatever we wanted to cover him with, and he would have went, okay. Like, we could have really tortured him. We didn't. We were good to him, but we really could have. But he was not the typical brher who picked on you and drove you crazy. Like, he didn't do that with you.
No, I was the scrappy one. I bugged him.
She was the scrappy one. Yeah. Okay, so what do you wish you would have known 10 years ago that you know now that if you hadn't known 10 years ago might have really changed things for you? Is there anything really that strikes you as something that's really kind of, that would have been nice to know way back when? I'm gonna tell you something, and this is, well, you guys don't have that issue, but I wish I would have known 10 years ago to look after my body and to do more with it and to be healthier and to be all those kind of things 10 years earlier, because, it's 53 and it's falling apart like every day something. And I'm like, enough already. I'm like, enough. I've had enough surprises. Let's just get back to where we used to be. But yeah, I think that's the one thing. It's not necessarily health. It's just everything. Like, you don't realize that things work and things move and things fit and things do stuff that you don't realize they're not going to be able to do stuff as you get older. And I would just, take advantage of it, look after it, and do that earlier rather than later. That would be my personal thing. So what do you got, Jen? Got anything witty?
I go back 20 years.
Oh, okay. That'll work. I'll take it.
And I would go, don't sell the condo in Toronto.
Oh, yes.
Because I was ready to go traveling and didn't know if I was coming back or not. So I would have said, just rent it out and keep it. But yeah.
Yes. That's another good one too. I think I would have invested in real estate earlier and used it as an income. But I don't think that was the way we were raised. That wasn't a thing.
Not at all.
When we were growing up. It's only been like the last 10 or 15 years. But yeah, that's what I would have done that too. Okay, Kirsten, yours.
I think I wish I had known to be more compassionate to myself and others. I think I've always been a very empathetic person, but there's a difference with compassion, and it starts with ourselves. And so you can't give what you don't have. And so that is a lesson I've learned probably even more so in the last 4 years than even in the last 10. And so I think I would do that just to give myself and other people the benefit of the doubt.
That's a good one.
Okay, I've never known that with her, but that's because our relationship has been good, but we've never struggled with anything. But that's, yeah, I can see where that would come. Okay, then. All right, let's do something silly. Okay, what do I got here? What's the best Halloween costume you've ever had? Okay, who said first?
That was
Jen.
me.
That was you?
Okay, Jen, you go, please.
You have to wait.
Go
Jen.
right ahead.
Oh,
Jen, you strike me as somebody who would really get into Halloween and would do Halloween well. Am I right?
I used to, not so much now, but I used to, yeah. One of the best ones that we ever had was we were at university and we did this group costume. So we were, it was fun. We had this one friend, like one guy and a bunch of girls. So we basically created his harem. And it was like every male fantasy. Oh, yeah. We were all dressed up as like every male
Grapes?
fantasy.
Did you have grapes?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was probably grapes somewhere along there. Yeah. But yeah, we did
In a
that.
glass.
And
Yeah.
we
Great.
took that show on the road. Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. Lucky guy. That would be this. You know what? That's actually pretty sad for him because that was probably the best fantasy he's ever had in his life, and it was over so early on in his world. Like, just it was over really quickly.
Probably.
How do you top that, eh? Okay, let's just see something else. Okay, so Kirsten, if you have to sing karaoke, what song would you pick?
First of all, nobody wants to hear me sing anything.
I did that one deliberately. I'm sorry.
I have many talents. Singing is not one of them. But if I could sing and not have people head for the hills, what would I do?
Okay, it's got to be something from Pink.
No, I would probably do Always Remember Us This Way from Lady Gaga, from that last movie that she did with Bradley Cooper.
Oh, see, I didn't see that movie, so I don't know that.
Very good. I highly recommend it.
I did not see that one. I would have thought it'd been something.
Or check out the song. You don't even have to watch the movie. You can check it out on YouTube.
Okay. Jen, what profession would you like to try other than your own?
Ooh.
Well, let's build some houses. I've been watching a bunch of those shows. So like, let's get some construction, some heavy machinery in there. I don't know.
Heavy machinery. My kind of girl. My kind of girl. We need to talk. My kind of girl. I like that. It's true.
But you may not want me in the bulldozer. I don't know.
Okay, no power tools for her. She gets a paintbrush. That's all they get is a paintbrush. Yeah, no, I seriously, I love, this is ridiculous. But when you hear the sound of like the saw and the smell of wood being cut, it just like, I get so giddy. Like, I just love that. I don't want to be doing it, but I just like when it happens because somebody's fixing something. I really like that too. So yeah, you ever want to go build a house, Jen, we will have a chat. We'll make it happen.
Okay. Sounds good.
So Kirsten, anything else you'd like to attempt other than your own profession?
I don't know. I've been pretty lucky because I've been fortunate in the career choices that I've made. So I've been a police officer. I have been a personal trainer and holistic nutritionist. And so I've had some checks, but what would I love to do? What would be cool? I think it would be cool to do something with travel, like to do one of those blogs where you get to check out like high-end resorts or something like that, or retreat places for people. So they, oh yes, that's what I would like to do.
That fits. The both of you are travelers. Like I don't know if you know each other well, but the both of you travel and have traveled quite a lot. Really kind of interesting. And I've kind of gone like nowhere, but just a couple of vacations. So you guys just get up and you guys just go. Yeah.
That's an impulsive thing again. Remember, Andrea? Like,
well,
again, you just buy the plane ticket and go, okay, where am I going?
True.
Oh, I've got a plane ticket. Here, take me.
That's true. I had kids and then I had my family here and then, I had injuries and stuff. So life just kind of sort of, I wanted this way. It was like, it was doing this, but I got a plan now. So we got 8 years left. Yeah. We got our plan. And then, I no longer am going to have the big house and have the rental income. I'm going to downsize to something much, much smaller. Even like my mother lives in a retirement park. And I'm thinking, that looks kind of nice to me because you can just get up and go. People will watch your stuff for you and make sure that nothing gets ruined. And I would come back whenever it's convenient. So I'm like, I'm thinking that's more along where I'm going to go and just plan to not live in this country for 12 months of the year anymore, trying to be going all over the place. So we just kind of
you come to my retreat, probably in South America somewhere.
Okay. And then Kirsten, we can bring her and she can write all about it.
Yeah,
there we go.
I would love to do that.
With the grapes. And
Mm-hmm.
Karen says she's cracking up right now. So that's good. So Karen, stay on and maybe we'll invite you too. Okay. So, all right. Well, here we go. We're talking travel. So what's your favorite place that you've ever visited, both of you? Because I know you guys have done lots of traveling.
That's a really hard one because every place I've been has been awesome. Like, but one of my favorite countries in the world will be Thailand.
So have you gone back to Thailand like multiple times?
I've been twice in my life to Thailand. It is the place I recommend to most people if they're thinking of trying to like if they're thinking of traveling Asia, because they're geared for tourism and they are just it's so kind, it's so different, it's cheap, it's just beautiful. Like, I mean, it was one of the most interesting places I think I've been.
Wow. Okay, so Faria is here too. Hi, Faria. Nice to see you here. Okay, I've never been to Thailand. I've never really had a desire to go, but you're making it sound interesting, and yeah, I've got places now to put on my list after the next 8 years are over. So yeah, I might want to think about that. Okay, Kirsten, what about you?
I agree with Jen. It's hard to pin it down because the trips are amazing for different reasons, right?
Yes.
Different people that you go with, or just the experiences that you have. So if I had to pick one, I would have a hard time picking one. Our Italy trip that Scott and I took was amazing. I loved it. And I loved it so much that we want to learn the language and we want to go back. But I will say that our last big trip that we went on was for my 50th birthday, and we did one of those river cruises down the Danube. So it started with a 3-day being in Prague, and then we caught the boat in Nuremberg and went all the way down through Vienna to Budapest. But Prague was a surprise because I didn't know anything at all about the Czech Republic, and I knew nothing about the history or anything else like that. And it was fantastic. We were there in October. The weather was like 18 to 20 degrees. So it was perfect walking weather. The city is extremely walkable, great history, which I love. Like, I'm a history geek. So
some of her photos were just stunning. And you're right. I didn't know anything about that either until you went on your trip, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it was fascinating. So if anybody would like to go to Prague, I would highly, highly recommend that.
I've heard that from a few people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those river cruises, I've never even considered one of those. But yeah, now that I've seen what you guys have went on, that could be something else to my list.
Yeah, and just to jump in with the river cruises, especially now with COVID, I mean, I don't know how many people are super thrilled about going on one of those big cruises. And we've done those in the past as well. But I'll be honest, I don't know, like, that river cruise kind of spoiled me for any other kind of cruise. I don't know that I would do any other, like, a big cruise like that anymore. I think if I was to cruise again, it would be, I would stick to that smaller kind of boat where I think there was only like 145 people on board on our
ship. You don't get lost. Like it's like going to somebody's wedding and they've got 200-300 people as a guest, or you go to a smaller wedding with 75 people. You get more of an experience when it's a smaller, more intimate group. You get more bonding, more connection, you get more of experience. Okay, so Faria says Prague is her dream place, like a fairy tale world.
Go, Faria.
Nair was here a few minutes ago, and Nair says that we could go meet her in Spain at one of her retreats, and she'll cook for us. So
totally.
Nair,
I've never been on my bucket list.
Nair, you got 3 people. We're all holding you through it. The river cruise on the Danube is amazing, okay? But Nair, you have to come so you can cook, or we'll meet you in Spain. So just so y'all know that Nair promised me, and I'm putting this out there for everybody to hear, that she promised that when this whole COVID thing was over, she was going to come to my house and cook paella. So now I'm putting that out there now. You're going to have a lot more people coming to the dinner, Nair, just so you understand.
I'm reserving my seat right now.
Kirsten's going to bring her extendable fork. She's got one of those forks that pushes out that you can eat off your plate and then it goes back in. So Kirsten likes to pick up everybody's.
I do.
You go for dinner with Kirsten and she likes to try everybody's stuff. Just because.
That's like my husband's family. It's all about sharing food. And it's funny, you come to my family, it's like, get your own plate. Go away.
She's like, oh, that looks good. Let me try that. Oh, we'll get that next time. Well, that's great. So we used to get mad at her for steak and her fork. So I think Karen got you the big long one that you can just reach across.
It was, Karen's husband, Tim.
Okay. All righty. Nice. So if you could start a rumor about yourself, what would it be? Jen's dying. So I have to go there first because she's just dying.
No, I don't really know, but it would have to be something really good though, right? Like,
that people would know that it really was completely false.
There's a lot of things you could start that would come back as completely false.
This is a G-rated show, Jen.
I know.
I marked it kid friendly for a reason because it's at 3:00 in the afternoon.
That's right.
Okay, we'll come back.
Spread my own rumor. Okay, let me think about that for a minute. Yeah,
that's a tough question because I'm not a rumor person. I never really have been. So that would annoy me. That anybody would say anything like that or even start my own rumor. I just would never do that. So it's you can believe whatever you want, like fill your boots, like that's fine.
Wait, maybe it's that I worked with some crazy big celebrity so that it would get me more clout. I don't know. That would be the only thing I could really think of, right? Like,
and which celebrity then?
So which celebrity? Who would you pick?
I have no idea.
Pick somebody really remote who doesn't live on this continent, so we would never be able to talk to them, because then it would actually be more believable.
Exactly. Well, I could just say, like, because I lived in Japan for the time, like I worked with one of the top Japanese actors, right? Like,
there you go.
Would know.
One of the K-pop crew. Like, there you go. There you go. We're all good there.
Mind you, the some fact matters. I could work with just about anybody. I have no idea because I don't follow like half the stuff. So they would literally legit would really be safe with me. I have no idea who you are, so it's okay. So bad.
All right, so let's just see here. What else do I want to? Okay, this might run. That's stupid. Okay, if you could kill any fashion trend forever, what would it be? I know what I would do, but I want to hear what you guys would say.
You mean get rid of it?
Yeah, like we would not
totally?
have to live with that fashion trend ever again.
Crop tops.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They're great in your 20s, but I mean, let's
after
face
that
it, nowadays.
Well, you know, I've had my belly button done like 3 times now, so it's not so bad. So I actually would be okay with a crop top because I like mine.
All my tops have gotten longer the older I get.
All my issues are below my belly button, not above it. So I'm all right with that one. I will keep my crop top. Skinny jeans and I are really not good friends. So I'm not into skinny
yeah, I can
jeans.
see that.
No, yeah, skinny jeans I think have got to go. That and pantyhose. Pantyhose is a torture device created by a man.
Died anyways.
There's no woman in her right mind would have ever come up with pantyhose. I'm just telling you, no woman would have ever done it. Like, it just would not have happened. No. So, and then Ewa's here too, and she's laughing. You ladies are too funny. Okay. All right. So I'm keeping my crop tops. Y'all are wearing your skinny jeans. It'll be fine. And we're all just burning our pantyhose. Instead of burning our bras, like I need mine. I would just burn pantyhose. That's what I would do.
Do you even own pantyhose anymore?
No.
I have one pair. I seriously have one pair. And they're in the box. Like, it's still there. And I'm going, why? I don't do this anymore. I refuse to wear skirts in the winter because I don't wear pantyhose. So I don't even know why I have it there. Just, I don't know. It's taking up space. It's time for it to go. All right. Okay. Okay. If you were stranded on a desert island, I ask everybody this question. This is my standard question. If you were stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you want to bring with you?
Ooh, good question.
Is there anything on the island prior to us getting?
Smart. Good thinking, Jen.
I thought you were all about spontaneity and just winging it and just trying it, but now it's like I have to plan.
If there's already food and stuff on this island, then I don't really need to worry about some of the stuff that I'm thinking I should probably bring.
Okay, you get food and you get water. All right,
okay.
You can live. You won't die.
All right.
So what 3 things would you bring on this desert island because you're stranded on the island?
Well, obviously wine.
Grapes. We need grapes. Obviously wine. Okay. That's very important. You're going to get drunk by yourself on a strand. Okay. You and the fish.
I'd bring my husband.
Oh, I think he's happy.
That's not an item. No, I have to draw the line there. That's not an item. Because if I brought my husband, he would build a boat and we would get off the island. So, I mean, I would never be there. It's because my husband can do stuff like that. But no, it has to be items.
Items. Okay, fine.
Did you not get the questions yesterday and study them? Most everybody studies them the night before.
No, that's that impulse thing.
She wants to be authentic.
Okay.
I'd bring a book or a series of books.
Okay.
And since there's no power, I'll bring a guitar. I can play it badly and it doesn't matter.
So Jen's gonna get drunk playing the sappy love songs and reading her books. And
I'd bring a radio, but no power. Therefore, what's the point? So I might as well bring
somebody
the guitar.
said solar panels, so you could have those. Okay, what would be your 3 things, Kirsten?
I would definitely bring a stack of books. I would probably also bring wine. And what else would I bring? That's a great question. Books, wine, and chocolate.
Oh,
M&Ms.
M&Ms. I was going to say because chocolate would melt, but M&Ms won't melt. You could keep those for one time. M&Ms are in. M&Ms are Smarties. Which ones?
Oh God, no.
Smarties.
M&Ms.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! We have a war. Hopefully, you guys don't end up on the same island. Okay, so
Well,
I'm not
M&Ms
staying
would
on
be
the
safe.
island.
We'll
Sorry?
have warring
M&Ms
islands.
would be safe.
So yeah, this is a great question, and I love answering because everybody assumes they're staying on the island. You're stranded on the island. Everybody assumes you're living there and you're not getting off. But I'm like, I'm bringing a boat. I'm bringing a flare gun. I'm bringing a raft. I'm getting off the island. I don't want to live there. It is not a permanent home for me. But that's a good question. That actually was one of my M&Ms or Smarties, but that's good. We already got into that one. Okay, so, all righty. What's your favorite word, or do you have one?
I do. So I have a fun word and a regular word. So my fun word is hippopotamus because I just like saying it. It's just a fun word.
Do you sing that song at Christmas?
No, and it's not from that word. I just like the word. I don't know why. Hippopotamus is just fun to say. And then the word that I love is grace.
And why do you like that word?
I think just because of what it means, like in terms of allowing yourself and someone else compassion and kindness and love, and just honoring yourself and someone else. Give yourself some grace. I like that.
Okay, Jen, your turn. What's your favorite word?
Recently, it's fairly recent that I've liked this word, and it's been around forever. Balderdash.
That's a good word.
I don't know why,
That's
but
a good
I love
word.
the word balderdash.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yep, that's a very good word. One of my favorite words, I heard it in grade 9. I heard it in grade 9 science class, actually. And I've always loved the word because to me, it's a fun word to say. Discombobulated. I just like.
Ooh, I love discombobulated.
You throw that out in a conversation, people go, what? Like it just throws them. It's an old word like balderdash, and it just means confused. That's all that it means. And I just always thought that word was a great word to use. And whenever I can throw it in there, I throw it in there. Yeah, I like big, long, interesting, old-fashioned words. Like if somebody talks to, they'll say something, and if you were saying to me instead of the word, oh, balderdash, I will like, oh, that's a good word. Like it stops you cold and goes, wow, that is such a great word that nobody uses anymore. I really like that word. I like words. Words. Okay, so what else? All right. What's one interesting thing about you that we don't know? Jen, you can go first.
I'm pretty much an open book, though. That's the thing.
Do you have a hidden talent? Do you have, trying to think here, is there, I don't know, can you cook? Something like that? Like,
I can cook, not great, but I can cook. I was a competitive dancer.
Oh, see? Didn't know that.
But see, again, like a lot of people know that, so it's kind of like, well, who knows me and who knows what, right? Like that's the kind of question.
So competitive, like when you were a kid growing up, like into teenage years?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, I started dancing when I was 4. I danced until I was about 18. And yeah, I was in some of the very first competitive dance things that were around in Ontario way back then.
What kind of dance?
Ballet, jazz, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
I
did a couple years of tap, but.
And then
you got rhythm.
Then
I got rhythm.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And then you stopped because you just outgrew it and you were going to school, or?
Yeah, partially that. Partially I was looking at wanting to explore other opportunities and things. So because I wanted to join student theater and things like that, but because the schedule I had, it just didn't allow for it prior to that. So
you've always been interested in something creative. First it was dance, and then now it's with photography. So that's good. Yeah. So you always stayed true to that kind of path all the way through.
Yeah, I'd say so. And again, like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I have no problem being on camera in front of people. Making a fool of myself is totally fine.
Good to know. All right. That'll come in handy when we're all out clubbing, because we'll just throw you. Go, Jen. You go first. Okay.
All good. I'm done. That would not be the first time.
I was going to say. That'll be on my R-rated show. That will be the nighttime version.
There you go.
We'll get you back. Alrighty, Kirsten, what's one interesting thing about you that we don't know?
I don't know. And I can't really say that in front of you because there's not a whole lot that you don't know about me. But for those that are going to see this lovely show, I am a big Harry Potter fan. And so Yes. So I like to geek out on that. And because I think I lived my life a long time from a place of responsibility. And so, and there was always sometimes a little bit of joy missing. So I found that those books just were amazing and I read them as an adult, but in terms of really reminding myself of why I love reading so much and how it shifted an entire generation into reading again. And I think I just stand in so much awe of authors that can weave those magical worlds for people where you can lose yourself in them and really transport yourself to a different place. So I'm always really appreciative of that. So those are favorites of mine for sure.
Yeah. My husband has
I just reread them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband has dyslexia. And when we got together, I would always read my book at night to go to sleep. And I couldn't do that when we were together in the beginning because he had to have it dark, he had to have it quiet. And I kind of got lost and couldn't do that anymore. I would spend the afternoons on a Sunday with a book and a tea, and I would be reading for 3 or 4 hours. I mean, I would love to read like that, but he couldn't read, obviously, so it wasn't something we did a lot. And then my son, Kirsten's son, and our son were at the same age, I think about 6 or 7, and the Harry Potter books had come out, and some of the movies were starting to come out. And so to get my son to read, it was, if you read the books, when you're done, we can watch the movies. That's what the deal was. So I would read the books, my son would read the books, and my husband tried reading the books. And it wasn't until I think it was the third one, I'm going to get it wrong, so you can correct me, something about the Phoenix or something, I guess was the third book in. Something I can't remember.
Order of the Phoenix, you're thinking?
Order of the Phoenix. Yeah, there we go.
That's like 5.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was third or fourth one in there. And when Errol was reading to Zachary, he came out of the room and he was so excited because he said, I get it, I see it, I see it. And I didn't understand what he meant. And he described, prior to reading those books, he would read words on a page, like this, and it would just be words on a page. That's all they would be. And they'd be hard for him. He'd have to go back and reread it and reread it and reread it. But when you and I read a book, I don't know about you, but when you and I read a book, or I read a book, I create the character. I, can see the space. I can see the flowers. I can see the house. I can watch what they're doing. I figure out what they're wearing, and I can see the movie reel playing in my brain while I'm reading. He had never experienced that before, ever in his life, until he started reading Harry Potter. And it wasn't until he was so many books into the series. And from that moment on, he is an avid reader. He still reads slower, but he reads all the time. It kind of unlocked that part of his brain that he had never had before. He was in his 30s. I mean, can you imagine going your whole life? No wonder he didn't like to read. If it was boring and it meant nothing to him. So,
and that makes school so much tougher too, right? Like in terms of, and with it, nothing having to do with intelligence whatsoever. It's just the way that your brain processes the words, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like they gave you the most interesting books to read in school. Like, it's usually I don't know about you guys, but we read some really dumb ones. And I like to read.
Waiting for Godot. I'm
pretty sure we read that
really?
one.
What kind of heck? Anyways, I don't think your mind can grasp that concept until you get a little bit older. But I was like, that was a stupid book. Just saying. I mean, I like to read. It was stupid. Oh, good Lord. That was dumb. Okay, what else we got? Well, we got a few more minutes. So what else do you want to talk about here? Okay. All right.
I have a question for you. So where are you going to travel?
Where am I going to travel? Okay, so Italy for sure, because I just have to, because I have to do Italy, because I love Italian food. I cook Italian food. I am Irish, but people mistake me for Italian, but I love Italian food. I'd like to go to Spain. I'd like to go to, where's Sarah want to go? I'd love to go to Russia. I so would love to go to Russia. Australia, maybe. I don't know. The bugs there kind of freak me out a little bit. I'm concerned about the things that can eat you. There's a lot of them there that can hurt you. So I'm just a little concerned about that. But that's a place I'd like to go. I'd like to see a little bit more of Canada. I have never been out west. I'd love to go out west because I've never been there. Errol's been a ton of time, but I've never been. I don't really want to go to England or Ireland. I've been there before with my family. I might do Ireland just because it's a sentimental trip, but I don't really want to go. But yeah, I'd like to go where languages are, language and culture is different. That's where I want to go. Definitely. I don't think I want to live there, but I just want to go, do 4 weeks there and then come back and then do 4 weeks there. And I like to travel around. I'd like to do at least 2 of those a year. And cruising, I would just get on a boat and you can take me wherever you want to go and then bring me back, because I just love cruising. Like, I've been once and I'm addicted. Like, I love it to death. So yeah, that's what I'd like to do. That's why I can't have a big house.
But you won't need one because you'll be.
But I won't need one. But I won't need one. So yeah, I'm all good.
She'll just move on to a cruise ship and never leave.
You know,
Go
you hear
around
those
the
stories
world
of
a few
people that
times.
do that, and I'm
I
like,
have heard that.
could you really do that? Could you really just live on? I don't think I could live on the same boat all the time. I think I'd have to leave boats eventually, because it's the same places all the time, right? You'd just be like living at home. You get bored after a while.
Yeah, unless you did one of those around the world cruises.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long did those go? Like 3 months, maybe?
Something
Or
like
they
that.
could be even longer. It depends on what they do.
Yeah, but I mean, I would love to know. That's the one thing. My last question is, if you could have a personal assistant follow you around all day long, what would be what would be the thing that you would get them to do that you would definitely don't want to do anymore? Oh, hi, Diane. Diane finally made it. Diane comes up every week. Hi, Diane. Diane was on the show last week.
I saw Diane and your mother last week.
They were amazing. And you know what was really cool? What I wasn't expecting was, when we were talking business, they were saying some of the same concepts that we talk about now in all of our business groups. They were talking about it and learning that like 30 years ago.
Yeah, they were trailblazers.
I was like, how did you do that solo? Like, you didn't have what we have, but they did it. And I was like, it's the same story. It's the same mindset. It's the same drive and ambition. We just have a lot more help, I think, with us going forward. But I was just, it was comforting to know that they did the same things that I'm doing. It worked for them. Therefore, it will work for me. That's where my brain is going with that. So,
and there's a few differences though, like, because again, you didn't have social media and all this internet, like all the stuff like that takes a lot of time. And that is what my assistant would be doing. They'd be following me around, doing the videos I need done, all my social media. I don't want to.
All your Instagramming.
Yeah, exactly. Like, therefore, I don't have to worry about, I have to think of this while I'm thinking of this and doing this. And crap. It's like, I come back from a shoot going, I did nothing for behind the scenes today.
Nothing. You always I know. I do the same. I'm so bad. I know.
Which is why I need an assistant that's just what they do. They follow me around and do the behind the scenes.
I always thought that when our kids were small, I was going to develop a headband that moms could wear with like a little camera, just like the Star Wars, click a thing here. And it would be like what I would see. Like, I could see my kids doing stuff, and it would be record everything live in this little headband that I could just pull it and watch later, because you miss stuff because you're too busy doing something else. Well, then that was GoPro. I know. See, I was ahead of my time then. Okay. All right, Kirsten, what would your assistant do for you if they followed you around all day?
I think that would be the same. My weakness is in the admin area. So for sure, I love doing my coaching and my vision boarding, and I like to cook and I like to work out. So all of those things I'm good for, but wow, I need help with the admin thing. So I would love my personal assistant to handle all of the back office things that I just really don't want to do.
That's a good answer. I want them to, I like cleaning my house. I don't mind cleaning my house, but I would like them to cook, and I'd like them to grocery shop and do the laundry. I want all that crap done. I can, go the cooking thing, the food thing. I want my meals made for me. I want them ready. I want them to clean up afterwards. I don't want to have to do that garbage anymore.
That's because you had to do it when you were a kid. I remember.
Jesus. So this is our last story, and I'm gonna say one more last story about Kirsten, and then we can be done real quick. When she brought up the thing about cooking, and it's true. When I was 13, I had to be home at 4:30, and I had to cook dinner for 5 people. 5 people. Because my mother got home at 5:30, and I had to have, the kettle was already on, and the tea was in the kettle, and the dinner was on the table. And it wasn't like, it wasn't heating up a can of soup. I was making stuff from scratch. I was making meatloaf. I was peeling potatoes. I was doing stuff from scratch, hardcore, big dinners. And then we got a reprieve. I think it was in grade 8. We had badminton nights on Wednesdays. And Kirsten would come over for dinner. And she thought it was amazing. Can I cook? And I was like, anytime. She thought it was brilliant because she wasn't cooking at her house. But every time that I made a really big dinner and we go play badminton, I think it was a quarter we had to pay, we sucked hard unless we had fish sticks. Whenever I made fish sticks, for some odd reason, we'd play like nobody's business. So that became the thing. Wednesdays nights badminton, Kirsten's coming over, and it's fish sticks for dinner. And it was like, My
Real
mom's
gourmet
like, what's with
stuff.
the fish sticks? I'm like, it's the only time that we're ever good. It's when we eat fish sticks for dinner. I don't understand it, but we just do really well.
That's
It's all that
funny.
omega-3, right?
Mhm.
Although fish sticks back in the 80s, I don't think they were that healthy.
No.
just throw that out there.
It didn't matter though.
So, yes. Very good. Okay, ladies, we're done. This has been great. Just one really quick thing. I want you just to plug your business one more time if you have any specials or promotions or how people can get a hold of you if they'd like to learn a little bit more about what you do. So, Jen, you can go ahead and let people know.
Sure. Hi again, Jenn Grachow from J&K Imagery. You can see more of my work and catch me online at jnkimagery.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at jnkimagery.com. And yeah.
So it's the letter J and the letter N and the letter K imagery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Not J and, it's J N K. And what is the N for?
Well, it's kind of, okay, here's where you really have to remember when you're creating your business name to be much more strategic. Because back in 2007, it was cool to condense all your things. So it is actually like, so our name stands for Jen and Keith. We just shrunk it to J and K.
Okay. And Keith is her husband. That's why.
Yes.
So, okay. So, yes. So thinking about your branding long term is something you really have to do a little more. You have to spend some time in that is what you're saying.
And don't fall into the trends and what you think is cool, because the longevity aspect kind of goes, oh, crap. But then you're stuck and you're like, whatever, it is what it is.
Okay. Kirsten, your turn.
Thank you. So everybody, you can, if you're interested in more of what I do and like to flush that out a little bit more, you can check out my website at www.tlclifecoaching.com. Also, I have a vision board workshop coming up on August 9th. It is a Sunday. It is a full day retreat for you to really dig deep and get some clarity and intention for what you want to create for these last few months of 2020, because I think we all went for a big right curve on this one. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to reach out to me through the website, and also follow me on Facebook on Transitions Life Coaching and Instagram on TLC Life Coaching.
Wow. That's a lot. And she cooks, she feeds you food when you go to these vision boards too.
I do.
She does.
Perfect.
So that's why it's a whole day retreat. Okay, ladies, this has been fun. Thank you so much. It actually went by really quickly. I'm really surprised. You guys are all right. You guys are definitely coming back because this is good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with a nighttime vision, like after kids go to bed, because we can get into like some pretty spicy stuff then. So
that's a great idea.
That'll be the next one. I got to do this one first. Then I got another business program thing coming out. I just gotta I need to have clones. I need to have more of me. That's what I need to do. Yes, there's lots of stuff in the works. So. Alrighty, thank you so much, ladies. Thanks for taking the time, everybody, checking in, and we'll see you here next week. Bye.
Good to see both of you ladies.
Bye-bye now.